Good evening, folks. Hope everybody's week is going well. Been a few days since I've had a chance to stream, but we're out here on Fishing Planet tonight. Hit level 45, so we're going to go to the Sander, I guess that's Baggersea Lake, which is kind of a good intro carp lake. Got a bunch of different species on here. You're not getting up to unique size on these carp here. That's at the Weeping Willow, but good intro. You can get some trophies. There are a couple like the big head carp you can get unique here, it looks like. A lot of European fish, a lot of fish that are in Russian Fishing 4, which is going to be interesting. Actually, I think other than the Prussian carp, I think all of these fish species are on RF4. Be a neat little excursion to check out. But I did put together my first carp rig, and I've got a few different ground-based sections, so I'm going to learn how to use these in this game. The 45 gallon's got a 47-pound max on the rod. Pretty decent 43.3 pound drag on the reel. Line and leader, unfortunately, at my level is a little weak. A 40-pound fluorocarbon is the best I could do line-wise, and carp leaders, the best I could do is 30-pound right now. But without any further ado, let's go get a license for this place. See, we got 8,000. It's about the same price as the San Joaquin Delta as far as that goes. A little bit more expensive to travel. So same price for extensions each day, it looks like, I guess, but the initial cost is a little more. In here, let's take a look at the different available spawn points. See if we find one that looks particularly good for carp. Got some descriptions for each one. Catfish, carp, Xander. Okay, so this one, default one looks good. We got our boat ramp here. So we could use the fish finder if we need to. Let's check some of these little spots out. We got some smaller whitefish, bream, roach, all that stuff up there. Here we go. Mirror carp, leather carp, big head carp. Okay, this sounds like a promising spot. As is this one, we got grass carp, lake and lake. This one especially sounds good. So that'll probably be the one we go with. Here we got some more feisty fish. That'd be a good one for spinning, probably. And here's eel. Okay, so there's an interesting spot there. This one seems like the best option. Lake and a lake. Let's go ahead and check it out. Hey, Canadian, how's it going? I had to update Twitch. I actually run through the app. That's right. All right, here we go. Just for coming here, we get a free $2,000 for coming here the first time. That's good. So I figure out how to do this this carp fishing here. So first off, let's take a look at the map and get the lay of the area. Okay, so it looks like there's some land to walk around here. And let me actually go ahead and switch this to a club room. We don't get interrupted by any randoms. All right. So I guess this whole little section here is probably good for fishing. Looks like a little dock or something here. Little raised planter bed. Okay, so this is something I don't see in the US at all, but I've seen these on the maps in Russian Fishing 4 as well. So I guess Europe has a lot of these little raised planters. I'm not entirely sure what they are, if there's some sort of like filtration for the lakes or what those may be. All good, Canadian, all good. Some days are just tiring days, I know that. All right, let's get a rod stand out here, and I have no clue how far out we need to cast. First thing I'm going to do, let me actually change my bottom feeders out to have some semolina balls and carp hooks. I guess I can't do carp hooks. I guess I'll just change it to semolina balls then. That we've got our, let's see, which one do I have? Line 2. Okay, line 2 is our carp rig. Okay, 1, 2, and 3. Let's give it a shot here. I guess we'll just kind of cast it spread out towards the middle-ish. Going in blind here. One thing I didn't check, let me pull this in. Let me make sure we are in an active time first. Let's see. Okay, yeah, looks like we're in a good spot. Middle line is going to be the carp one. So here I want to try. All right, so we've got ground bait mix here, which you have to mix it when you're actually on the map. You can't do it on the world map. So I did some like biscuit caramel and a sweet crucian aroma. Let's see. Let's mix it up. Oh, 7 seconds. So I don't know how much that actually makes, but find out. Let's see. Where does it put it? So I've also got some PVA mesh in case we need to use that. I guess this is the. Okay, here we go. Biscuit. Get a pound of it. Okay, so it doesn't use a whole lot, it looks like. And it's got 24 hours of usage. We may have our first bite. Look yet. And I've got banana pop-up boilies as the bait on this line. It looks like these guys kind of just hit it and then maybe, I don't know if they're maybe letting go because it's a, not a carp hook or something. Still playing with it. I wonder if I need to raise the rod stand up a bit. Looks like so spod rods are a thing, but I don't think you get any of them until level 47 unless you're using bait coin. So a couple levels we can start putting those to use. Yep, finally fully rid of that cold, thankfully. Got some Bavarian wildberry tea here, just waiting for it to cool down. Yes. There we go. All right, here we go. First fish at the Sander Baggersea. And it must be a pretty small one. Okay. There we go, a young mirror carp. All right, well, it's a mirror carp. Let's bring our drag up on this line a bit. Go a little bit further. That's unfortunately because my leader is only 30 pound. That is a very weak link on this setup. Like to get a stronger leader, we could put a lot more drag on here. Looks like a little grass carp coming in. Okay. Little standard grass carp. And the money's not terrible. XPs, we're using a way too strong of a line or setup for those, I guess. Yeah. And I'm using 2-aught hooks on the carp setup and 4-aughts on the bottom setups here. Where are you fishing at right now? Can you out there at the White Moose getting some more salmon and trout? What we got here? Looks like another mirror carp. There we go. It's decent money. That line back out there. See if we can't get a trophy out here. Got 2 mirrors and a grass so far. There's also, I think, if we go for, let's try some technoplankton out here on this line. And there's a few species that really like that. I think the big head carp liked it a lot. Which just is another thing that I wish they would add to fishing, Russian fishing 4, the fish species thing that kind of like gives you an idea of what the species likes to eat and some ideas of where you can try to catch them. I think that's a super useful indicator to like in game for the player to sort of find a spot and bait options. I'd love to see that added to RF4. If there's a little more direction than having to like look that up online more or less, or go in completely blind and probably not have a lot of luck. Nibble on 3 there. Ooh, still toasty. That carp rod's so much longer than these other rods. Actually, I just want to check the shop here. So I'm assuming that, yeah, so they've got a decent bit of ground baits and stuff you can buy at the local shop here. So that's good to know. Let's see. Look at hooks again. What level can we get a bigger carp hook? Okay, so it looks like 2 watts the highest you can get on the in-game shop or the shop at this lake. I know they do get bigger on the world map, but just make do for now. Other spots nearby. Here we go. Something on the carp rig again. We need to add a bell to that one, give it a little extra signal of when it's time to set the hook. Okay, this one's putting a bit of a fight on. I don't know what level I can get a larger or a stronger carp leader. Hopefully it's in the next level 46, but I imagine it seems like level 47 is when a lot of the better carp lines become available. Okay, we got a common carp. That's 3 different carp species we've caught so far. Let's go set this hook and bring it in. There's small fish here. Young common carp. Hopefully we can land a trophy while we're here. Might have to try some other spots, see if they yield some larger fish. Maybe this because it's kind of like an enclosed mini lake, maybe the larger fish aren't here. Technoplankton's not doing anything, so let me go ahead and bring that in and swap it back to maybe try some sweet corn, see if that gives us something different. Oh, sweet corn, here we go. All right. I could try doing some spin fishing for some of the little smaller, like maybe Xander or something. I don't know if they're in this little section of the lake or not, but bite rates slow down. I might do that. On that note, let's go ahead and take a look at. Go to Roach. Nope. All right. Perch are going to go after spinners and nano spinners, and we've got Pike will go after casting spoons, spinner baits, a bunch of other stuff. Xander, here we go. Spoons for Xanders. All right. Hydrate, you got it. Cheers. Appreciate it. They definitely take their time actually taking the hooks here. Let's try That one's going to be probably too big. Let's try our ultralight line and see if we can get something on the nano spinner while we wait for these carp to take hold. A few different retrieval methods. We'll start with the old straight slow. So just nibbling. I'm going to hit on the carp setup lately. Recast it to another spot. Nothing there. Let's give another try with a different retrieval method. Seems like this area is very shallow water, though. Might have a hit on 3 in a second here. This in. It seems like this nano spinner is hitting us anything in this spot. I'm gonna reel this line in a little bit, see if it's a different spot. Might make it a little more active. So far, yeah, we haven't earned a whole lot so far. They've all been small fish. We haven't plenty of lake to try to find where these are more profitable. But this is kind of like the beginner serious carp lake at the Weeping Willow hatchery or fishery, something like that. Is the major carp map. I think that's like level 50 or something along those lines. So this is kind of your introduction to them. Try to learn their different patterns and bait preferences and that kind of stuff. And over the carp separate. The reason you can get some carp rigs a little bit earlier than level 45, but the reason I waited till level 45 is because you get this Carp Ranger 12.9 that goes up to 47.4 pounds. And that keeps it fairly future proof for a little while. The difference of like one level 44, it's like 43-pound cap on that. So getting that unlocked at 45, it's worth waiting. But the rod and reel together were like, I want to say 110,000 bucks. So it's fairly pricey. Hopefully it will pay for itself once we find the good carp spot. This one seems to have slowed down. Go to the map again here. Some other spots. Got Stillwater Village. That's got Crucian Carp and Common Roach there. This Fields of Gold has the Big Head Carp and Crucian, Mirror, and Leather, so I might try this one. Let's bring our travel without doing that. Let's try. Yeah, there we go. Let's try this spot, see if we can have a little bit better bite rate. As far as where to cast, there's a hole over here, but just take a peek around. A lot of Oh, here's another of these planters. I feel like these planters are a good spot to start out. So we drop this, and I'm actually going to add an incline to this, so it's fully inclined. That should help with the hook setting. Coming to the Fishing Planet Millionaire. Good luck on it. Yeah, once you get to especially the San Joaquin Delta, like it's very easy to get that money up. Especially if you do this, if you're very liberal on the fast forwarding of time, you'll get through it in no time. Let's try our boilies out here. Keep the semolina balls on this one. All right, well, that was fast. Which, reel this in. I'm actually going to go ahead and add a alarm bell to the rod. In my view, the rod stand alarm lets you know that something's biting it, whereas the bell lets you know it's time to go ahead and set the hook. Another mirror carp, not too bad. Go ahead and get a bell on here. I think I've got an extra one somewhere. Maybe not. Let's see if they have any at the shop here. Come bells. Yep, go. Oh, I guess, okay, never mind. I guess you can't add simple bells to the carp rods. You have to rely on the old rod stand then. Got the line 3 there. Nothing on the technoplankton yet, which this spot's supposed to have big head carp, which to my understanding, the technoplankton is a good bait to target them. But this may not be the exact right spot for it. Got something on the carp rod again. Set the hook on that and we'll juggle these fish. Ooh, okay, we got something big on there. Alright, juggle these 2 feet at a time. Put up quite a fight. This one is getting close to being pulled in. A couple more juggles, we should have that one. Gotta be careful not to lose enough tension for the other fish to get off. So one more juggle here, and we should have that one in. It was a small common carp, I think. Yep, little common carp there. And looks like a mirror or leather carp coming in. Mirror carp, all right. The bite rate's pretty good, so even though the fish, individually, the fish don't give a ton of money, pulling them back to back, it works out all right. We can get some trophies. Might see some decent return here. Still no luck on that technoplankton, so I'm gonna try changing back to semolina balls, I guess. And I might actually try. Let's change this one out to 6/0 hook and see if we can target some larger fish that way. So, Canadian, are you still getting most of your money out there at White Moose, or back to like the Everglades or something like that? And supposedly the spot's maybe good for pike, so I might do some spinning if the bite rate slows down again. Nibbles right now. Maybe pike in this area, so I can go ahead and try do a cast and bring a spoon in a little bit slowly. I'm fully taking these hooks. Yep, still at White Moose. Yeah, White Moose, like, if you've got the gear to handle it, that bite rate's just fantastic. Like, once you can go to St. Croix and guard to the northern pike, that's going to be a little more reliable for you. But yeah, White Moose is sadly overlooked, and I think it's a great match for that level. We got some nibbles on all three lines now. Nothing quite ready to commit yet. What I'm not sure of on here is like with all the different the ground bait on this is actually like even more customizable, way more customizable than it is on Russian Fishing 4. There's our first Prussian carp. So those ones are kind of worthless, it looks like. So I'm not really sure as far as like what the science is behind the different ground bait recipes and stuff like that, but I'll show just as a demonstration if where you want to make something, so you can choose particles. I guess that's for PVA bags or something. I haven't been able to add it, but got some different ones. So I got like boilies and method mix here. I threw some boilies and you can actually adjust the percentage of the proportion to that material. So it'd be like, oh, I want to put like 20% of this as the boilies. And then you can go in, add some different aromas, and same thing, you can add a percentage. And that seems to have an effect on like the cat in the way here now. There you go. Hello, Lex. So that seems to affect obviously how much you're using of your actual stuff, but that I guess probably has an effect on how good the ground bait is. So it's a lot more in depth in RF4, where it's kind of like just pick your additives and be done with it. So we're just nibblers so far. Try the nano spinner again. Maybe like a long, shallower part, possibly. Okay. Hold that thought. Another small one coming in. We've got a young common carp. That was a bad cast. Yeah. Reel this in now. A snag. Oh no, actually I have a official in there. Okay. Didn't even realize it. Little tiny perch. The bane of RF4. Yeah, you know, it's the regular viewers showed back up on my I didn't get I wasn't able to stream Friday, but Thursday they were back in full force more or less. I really think it's the game. Like it's the I was doing RF4 on Thursday, and I think it was a combination of it being RF4 instead of Fishing Planet, and also I did the additional advertising in game in the RF4 chat, where I think a lot of our regular viewers are watching that, but not the Discords. So we had most of the regular viewers on that stream, but right, they for these Fishing Planet uploads, they're not showing up in force. What I may have to start doing is maybe hop into RF4 just to advertise in the in-game chat for these Fishing Planet streams, and then that way we can draw some of those guys that are paying attention there but aren't looking at the Discord or Twitch or anything. He's a little common carp there. I didn't check the missions for this lake while these are nibbling. Let me take a look at some of those real quick. The Sanderbags Exploration. All right, so we've got the European Perch and Prussian Carp. So it looks like these are mostly your spinners, rewards, some additives for ground bait. So rough, roach, tench, and common bream. There we go. That's our, and a round goby. So some RF4 staple fish right there. Go ahead and try the nano spinner again while these do their magic. It does seem like this area, the semolina balls are outperforming the ground bait that I'm using with the banana boilies. But it does kind of have a similar issue and startup cost to carp setups in RF4, where if you want like a wide variety of different boilie flavors, it can get pretty pricey. Some nibbles on the other lines now as well. Really hope I can get a stronger carp leader soon. Hey, there's our first leather carp. Not bad. New personal best. As one would expect, being the very first one you've caught. Back to our spinner while those continue their nibbles. Got something right at the end there. A little perch. Let me take a look at that mission again. So we need to catch Go and track it. Rough, roach, bream. Take a look at some of their preferences here. Bream are on the semolina balls, but probably a much smaller hook size. Roach going to be also the semolina balls. Rough. Here we go. Nighttime. Some worms on there. Okay. And goby. All right. Things I can work towards on the side. In fact, let's actually go ahead and swap one of these to a small hook and see if we can't get some of those. Let's change it to a size 8 hook. And let's use, I guess we'll start with some night crawlers, I guess. Yeah. Already getting some nibbles on those night crawlers. Yeah. What do we got? Hey, there's a trophy Prussian carp worth next to nothing, but that's something. Might be a decent fish to try and target with like a really lightweight rod. Better XP that way. All right. Night crawlers are putting in the work, it looks like. Common bream, neck knocked out of the way. That big old fat hump on him. The coloration on here looks almost more like a golden tinge. Interesting. I wonder if they're like a different species of bream than the one that are in RF4, since those ones are much more gray color. Well, these small carp are so much easier to fish than the sturgeon I've been catching. I do know once you get to like weeping willow, you can get up to like 100-pound plus carp. Those should be some fun fights. Nice common. All right, let's actually, so we've got the, they're being rough to get still. My, whatever line I have on this setup's going to need to be replaced pretty soon. Red. Got something nibbling on the carp rod now. There we go, little mirror carp. All right, see what we've got. Come on, be something big. Nope. Another small one on the line. Mirror carp. The XP right now is not great just because we're getting smaller fish, and the rod and reel setups I've got for that size fish is way too strong. You can start finding some of those 20, 30-pound carp though. The XP I imagine is pretty decent. There's small Prussian carp there. Let's change this out to red worms. You know those do. The reel on my carp setup is rated for 43.3 pound max drag with a 44 pound capacity on braided line. So it's pretty strong. The weakest link is the carp leader, which is only 30 pound. So with these little 10-pound carp, even that's a overkill. Do they have the carp leaders here at this local shop? Let's take a look. 35. So next level, I can move my carp leaders up to 35-pound capacity. But imagine 40 pounds going to be at level 47. And once I get that put in place, then I can do max drag and hopefully target some much larger carp. Got something on the red worms. Hey, trophy round goby. All right, whopping 30 bucks. Woohoo! Knocks another one of the species off of our to-do list. Take a look at some of those other tench, common roach. What do we got here? Common roach is gonna like, yeah, they'll do bloodworms as well. Other things. Insect larva. One can see if we've got some of those. Rough is going to want worms of any type, but they, this thing like RF4, those are gonna be a nighttime species. And then tench, we want much larger, cuts of fish and whatnot. Let's see. Yeah, what do we have? I've got flies. They weren't really listed. Take a look at the bait shop here, see if we can find something that might target these a little better. This is something I do like, even though it can be annoying that you don't have the entire shop available to you on a individual lake. It does give you a better, more curated set of options that are going to help you sort of know what you want to be using at that particular lake. And for bait, that's really good. Even for your tackle, it'll give it you like, okay, if I'm at this lake, what sort of reels are they suggesting? So you can see like the one I've got here, I've got a mega tank. They've got their strongest one they recommend is here. So I think it's a really good resource to kind of help you know what to be using when you're in your body of water, get the most out of it. All right, so target pinkies, that's going to be, it looks like for the roach. Let's maybe give that a try. Got all of these. Nope, nope. X-worm. Nope. All right, let's try the pinkies then. Try one batch of those. See if we can get a common roach that way. Yeah, this one, it's so much less of a grind to get your gear upgrades, which I really like. I mean, to get this whole carp rod set up, it was it was basically like an hour over the San Joaquin Delta, and I could put it together. Now, granted, that best reel, that's the best reel for on this body of water shop, this local shop. But I mean, it is a really strong reel, 49.6 pound max drag. So the one I've got is basically, I think this one, but I got the non-premium version. The Mega Tank. Okay, this is actually, I'm using the Mega Tank, so the one I'm using actually is here. So you can see, yeah. So this is what I've got on my carp setup. That's not it. I'm looking at the wrong line here. Try that again. Line 2. Kraken 8000, yeah. So I'm using the, so you can only get the premium Baitcoin version at this local shop of my reel. But if you go out onto the world map or maybe some other maps, you can get it for regular in-game currency. And it's, it was like 40 something thousand, something like that. And that's kind of the, in case those that don't know, if you see the SE emblem, that means it's a premium reel or rod, which means you either got it with bait coins or it came with like a DLC pack or you won a tournament, something like that. And that's also a good way if you're going through, if you're every like 20 levels or so, it's a good idea to kind of go through your tackle at your home and find stuff that you don't use anymore and sell it. But that's a good note. If you see SE, then maybe it's one you should hold on to because it was a premium one. Good way to avoid accidentally selling one of your premium rod or reels without realizing it. Got a little bit of multi-rod action here. Let me set this one and finish reeling this line in. Your small common carp, it looks like. Yeah. Best is 23 kilogram. It's actually, that's pretty large. That's gonna be what, like 60-ish pounds max drag? I have mine set up in imperial units rather than metric. I wonder there's a, yeah, I'm gonna like let's do a lot of experimentation at some point with the different boilie flavors and ground bait mixture recipes. So we'll try, once we get another catch on this line, we might try moving the hook size up just a little bit. Interesting about this map that I am liking is that like the entire day is still in a decent spot. There's no like big dips. So you can kind of just fish casually the whole day if you really wanted to. We might fast forward though to the hot spot again when we get too slow. Came with the deluxe pack you got. Very nice. Yeah, what's great about those is they give you the option to go after some of those bigger fish, you know, like some place like White Moose where you can go to those really big fish. But it does still incentivize using some earlier game rods because of the way the XP works. Getting that extra XP for undersized tackle is nice. Yeah, at some point we should all be having another hair dye stream. I wanted to grow out just a little bit further than it is right now, so that I've got enough that I can cut it shorter, but then have a consistent coloration all the way through. So it'll probably be sometime in December, I would imagine. There we go. This is our strongest fight here so far. Or at least it was. Another common carp. Too shabby. I'm not pleased with the size of the carp in this spot though. So let's go back to the map and take a look. We want to try to find the other species we're missing as well to complete that quest. All right, so we got Sander. Okay, Tench looks like we can get at this spot. Looking for one that talks about maybe the rough roach here at this fishing on the mainstream. Okay. Spot we're at, it's mainly for carp. Firm. Common roach are quite abundant in these deep waters here. Okay, let's try this spot. Deep waters, they say. So, looks like this spot over here, maybe? Yeah, let's head out to the end here, see if we can find some common roach or something. Some sort of buoy out there, so that's probably a good indicator of where we should be aiming. Drop rod stand in. Yeah, I did notice. I saw a couple of our. There's a couple of them that are usually in our streams too, like Bethany. I see him playing Fishing Planet some, so it's a good idea. We should definitely do a little more promotion of that. Try to entice him over here. Weird. Why is it auto inclining? Well, where I want it to be, anyways. And let's just go full cast on these. Yeah, I've seen like I'll see Bethany hop into the streams now and then, but not as frequent as we used to. But I just notice her playing some Fishing Planet on the Discord. Maybe we can get a few members to join the club, help each other level and whatnot. Yeah, that'll be about it. So we'll get to once we have no more space for people. That's when all of a sudden all the people in our Discord are like, all right, we're ready to join. What? Some nibbles there, but nothing took. Might try using the spoon out in this area as well. There is some deeper water. We might hit something different. We can get the common roach here. We're going to try another spot for the tench, and then nighttime we can go for the Eurasian rough, knock the exploration mission out. What do we got? Looks like another goby. Yep. I were a common roach. If it was RF4, I would say I would just be everywhere all the time. Which said they couldn't find an issue. That's weird. I don't know what what could be causing the problem there. Maybe try doing it through a browser on your PC instead of the app and see if it works better there, perhaps. Maybe it's an app related issue. So no luck on that side either? Huh. Weird. I mean, you would think that Twitch would be more apt to dig into it further, since, like you mentioned there, you can't. It's directly you want to give Twitch money, and it's not letting you. There we go. Got the Eurasian ruff. All right, so I guess it's not exactly a nighttime species. I want to bring the hook size up a little bit, see if that helps find the roach, maybe. I want a size 8. Let's try a size 4. Yeah, that is a fair point. Who knows, hopefully maybe it'll just randomly start working again one day. Come on, roach and tench. Yeah, they got you all excited with that email, but nope. And they let you down. All right, what we got here? Another common carp? Yeah, young common carp. All right, let's see. Still need the roach. I wonder if they're nighttime species, maybe? Let's see. Let's read what they have to say about the common roach. Freshwater brackish, blah, blah. Like, it doesn't really give an idea of time frame for them. Those banana pop-up bullies are not doing a whole lot over here, though. We should be, let's see, let me check my calendar here, because the Black Friday is coming up soon. Definitely planning on, I guess I'll, after these, figure out what they're doing here. I definitely plan on picking up probably a year of premium for Black Friday, since it's half off. It's like it's going to be, it's coming up quick. So next Thursday, I think, is probably, or next Friday, I guess, is going to be when the premium sale is. So that'll be good. Yeah, it would be a neat feature for them to add to clubs, like have an option where you could toggle like a global club chat. Might be something to suggest on their forums or something. Because they've got like the regular club chat that kind of like lets you know if someone levels or chat stuff like that, but the actual fish catches are only if you're in the same map. But I could see like they've got the remember which key it is. They have their in-game chat that you can do different channels of, so it'd be nice to have like a global club one. Black Friday week starts this Friday for you guys. Yeah, a lot of like stores and stuff are definitely like they'll start like a week early or 2 weeks early. I don't know if the actual sale on this is like a week-long thing or if it's specifically only on Black Friday itself. But definitely keep an eye on it as soon as I notice it up, I will post on the Discord. And another thing, this Friday starts the new Turkey Day event that they're doing on Fishing Planet. So we can get in on that on day one. See what kind of sweet rewards it's got. There's small carp on, I guess. Set that hook just in case it's the common roach we've been after. Juggle these two. There's small common carp there. Yeah, definitely. If they leave it for a week, it's much more. I'm sure it probably will be a week-long thing. Hey, there we go. We got our common roach. Now, those models are probably the closest I've seen to RF4 models. All right, all we've got left to go for now is the tench. So let's look at the species map here. Tench, we're going to want night crawlers, bloodworms, leeches. See if any of those specifically say pinch on their description. Nightcrawlers does. Leech does not. Medium cut bait. All right, so let's, I guess, go with nightcrawlers, but let's go ahead and move to a spot on the map that mentions pinch, which I think was this spot. On main. Yeah. Here we go. Let's try this spot, see if we can get a tench this way. We'll go to a size 1 hook with night crawlers. And while we're here, I might as well go ahead and I'll leave the 4-aught hook on there, but let's go ahead and throw night crawlers on this one as well. And look at the map, see what our depth layout looks like here. Okay, there's a deeper spot right in the middle. And a little spot going across there. Interesting. We're right in the, there's the deep spot, right? Yeah, okay, so let's try out there in the deeper area then. And we'll throw the boilies out there, see if there's any carp in this area. They weren't really mentioned in the description, but nodes. Let's go over here. This one. And there are pike allegedly in this section, so let's bring out let me check the pike options again. Serve preferred bait. Casting spoons. All right. But this roach spoon, I don't know if is it a casting spoon or a medium spoon classification. Let me take a look at my spoons here. Okay, so it's probably is a casting spoon. We'll keep that on. See if we can't catch one of those pike boys while we wait for these to catch something. We had one game to choose and couldn't play the other again. Which would it be? I don't know. That's I feel like I want to say at this point RF4 only because I don't like the Norwegian Sea that much on RF4, and there's not a whole lot left for me to like accomplish with the telescopic rods that's realistic on there. So I'd probably say fishing planet, but at the same time, like I've got like 500-600 hours on RF4, where I've only got like 150 or something like that on fishing planet. So I think they're I think they're just not quite. It's not apples to oranges really with the two games. So I'd say for me personally at this stage, it'd probably be Fishing Planet. But then give it 3 months, I'd probably be, if I was only playing Fishing Planet, I'd probably say okay, I'm back to RF4 or something. And I still think Fishing Planet is more respectful of time. So I guess it also depends on how much free time I've got. If I'm in a scenario where I've got like 5-6 hours a day to just sit there and play, and I don't have other games I'm wanting to play at the time. I think RF4 is it hits the spot a little better because it's definitely like if you're playing for several hours at a time, RF4 is more rewarding. Whereas this, if you just got an hour to just pick up and play between other stuff, I think Fishing Planet to give you a more satisfying experience for the time spent. Lots of nibbles on those lines, but no takers yet. We're looking on the time of day scale here. We're in a little bit of a dip, so we may have to fast forward if we don't get anything soon. I'll try switching to this gold casting spoon, see if it does a little better. Yeah, that's the thing. Like R4, like it's if you have the time to keep devoting to like the really heavy stuff, but and with the time you've put in, like you've pretty much caught all there is to catch. So it's like it kind of just is a big grind from that point. Whereas like Fishing Planet, you've still got a lot to progress and see. So it's like I think both of them are kind of in the boat where like once you've caught all the different fish, then it's kind of a choice of like how much time do I want between doing other stuff to keep it exciting. And I think once you hit that point in both games, I think Fishing Planet probably fills the void a little better just because of the more casual nature of it. You know, with like RF4, earlier in the year, I was putting in 4 to 6 hours a day on there, and I was able to make decent progress and work towards things. But now, since I'm pretty much only playing it for streams, and that's every other day, I'm basically making zero progress on there. There's nothing you can accomplish at the stage I'm at on that game in an hour. Yeah, uh, it's brutal. Really, I think at first I really liked the whole fish changing their locations and preferences system on RF4. It is a really cool system, don't get me wrong, but that system makes it much more catered towards hardcore players that have a lot of time on their hands. Casual players, it's very like if you get on there, you can spend an hour on RF4, and I've been in this boat where you just don't get a single bite for an hour. And when you have days like that, you're like, at that point, I'd rather be. I mean, that's basically real life fishing at that point, and I'd rather be real life fishing if I'm going to go for an hour and not catch anything. Like, I think what RF4 could desperately use is some better indication of where spots are. So you're not always having to just like look up on Discord and stuff like that. And something that can just help make it so that when you're trying to go, like some of the stuff is just, I think, too rare. You've got some of those rare fish species that you can try for months and not catch a single one. And that is great for those hardcore players, but it kills the casual audience. Well, so no pike or tench or really anything at this spot. Plenty of nibbles. Not so much as anything else. I'm gonna reel this in. Let's see where we're at on our fish keep net. Have we at least made enough to pay for the trip? I highly doubt it. Mostly because we had to buy the license as well. Also, what does it mention if the tench are more nighttime here? And plump bodies, blah, 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 clay or muddy bottom with plantation. Okay, so they are nighttime, so I probably need to fast forward to nighttime to get that tench. Let's bring these lines in and do that. Will Fishing Planet add another low-level map? I don't know. I mean, they have a lot of low-level maps as it is. I think they're probably going to keep focusing on late game stuff. Now I can see them possibly like, and I think I can't confirm this, but I want to say that they have gone back and added some species to older maps, because I feel like when I played this a few years ago, there were less species per map. So I think they've been kind of addressing that issue possibly and trying to add some additional species on those early game maps. But entirely new maps, I think, are going to probably stick to the late game. But when you compare the number of maps, like Fishing Planet completely blows RF4 out of the water. Now, some of them are smaller maps with like that aren't as directly as comparable, but I think there's enough variety. I think there is enough variety that they probably won't. I mean, who knows? They could add some here and there where there's like a weak leveling spot, but I do think that if I had to guess, I would say that Fishing Planet's going to continue to focus on late game content. All right, let's go ahead and forward to nighttime, see if we can't get a tench here. And since it doesn't seem like the carp are really hitting this spot anyways, let's go ahead and just put 3 bottom feeders out there with night crawlers on them. Go all over the place here. Change this to night crawlers. Okay, we got something hitting pretty hard, but not quite taking it. Maybe. Let's go check the fish keeper here. Well, we've made over 10,000, so we've at least made the cost of the travel out here, just not the license yet. Yeah, that's definitely a huge selling point for Fishing Planet, that it's on consoles. I think it might actually be on mobile too. I'm not 100% certain. Being available on console is a big advantage. I know there's a lot of people that play on console that don't bother with PC. So that's a huge plus there. And it's also like, I guess in that same vein, it plays well with the controller, which for a lot of people is a plus. I really just like the competition system. I think is so great. Like right now, I could actually okay. There's one here for big head carp that I could sign up for. I could go sign up for fishing at St. Croix. Like every day, there's these daily automated competitions. There's the weekly tournament that you can take part in, and then there's always people hosting various competitions that you can. So I think that's an awesome amount of like extra stuff you can do to like on top of the mission system to where you kind of have goals beyond just raising your level and getting better gear. I think that's a very important thing to have too. And next month is going to be the first club seasonal league. So hopefully we can get a few more active members in the club by then because that'll be nice to be able to start to take place in the first one of those. Come on, Tinch. I guess there we go. Yeah. Try the roast spoon at nighttime here again. See if anything hits. Now, there's also I've heard everyone recommend against it. I haven't read into why, but there is also like a single player offline version of Fishing Planet. It's called like the I don't remember what it's called off the top of my head, but I think the biggest thing on it is it doesn't have it's got like half the content, but it's like a purchase one time, which is interesting. Oh yeah, I saw you were yeah you were posting the about that new episode coming out. Should be a nice one to see. What level have you gotten up to so far on your beginner with the new episode for the beginner series? Everything out here is just kind of like nibbling and not taking. I wonder if I need to switch to a smaller hook. Almost 9, not too shabby. I remember during the summer, M Dog did that like side by side series where he made a new account and just did those sea trips right off the bat to see like what level going out to the sea from the beginning would get you to. I think you got to like 19 or something like that. Over an hour long. Very nice. I'm interested to see how your metrics do on a video that long because like it seems like some content creators their viewers prefer the longer form content, but then there's others where like they want that quick like 10-15 minute fix. So I'm curious where the RF4 viewers are going to land on that front. I would assume they probably are fine with the longer form because a lot of them probably throw the video on in the background while they're playing RF4 themselves. But if one of these fish could just take the hook, that'd be great. I'm gonna pull this line in and change it out to a smaller hook and see if that gives a little bit better luck. We've got one that's already a size 1 and it hasn't had any luck so far. So let's downsize to like a size 4, I guess. Because we're definitely getting bites, just nothing taking it. So overall on our fish keep net, we've got almost 11,000. XP has been bad, but that's because we're getting these smaller fish that big gear. We go to the fish species here, like you can get like a unique big head's going to be probably 30 plus. Well, actually, unique specimen. Okay, they can go up to like 88 pounds. Okay, so you can still, even without the uniques. So I guess with in this case, you do get the uniques, but even the trophies are going to be like 30 something pounds. So if we can find the big head carp, I feel like those are probably going to be good money makers here. Yeah, it's good to get that mix in there. To me, like I feel like shorter videos are better in the form of like just quick, like for example, here's an active hotspot. Those are perfect for a short video. Something that's like a quick, like here's how you make mixed ground bait. That can be like a little how-to video. But once they're like actually fishing, to me the long form makes more sense because you can really see the. It's kind of like the old complaint of like when they had fishing TV shows and stuff, they make it look like it's almost demoralizing. Like, oh, in 30 minutes, I saw this guy catching so many fish. But in reality, that was filmed over like multiple days and they just trimmed out like 90% of it. So I think like when you have a full long form video that really shows like the wait time between things, it gives people a better, more realistic expectation. Yeah, it's pretty good. 19% watched the full length, so it's definitely a solid retainment rate for the video that long. Then I had a weird, I don't know what it was last week. I had a big spike in my videos on YouTube. They were all hitting, because again, like I don't really do any specific edited content. I'm just dropping my stream VODs on there, but usually I'll get like 10 views or so, but all of my videos last week got around 40 views. But then the video that dropped yesterday and today, they're back in like the single digits. So last week was an unusually high traffic rate. Not bad, not bad. Yeah, it's hard to, especially this day and age, like any sort of viewer retention can be difficult. People want that like TikTok, YouTube Shorts level content. I want to watch for 15 seconds, then watch something else. Yeah, making a I've toyed with the idea, like I'm trying to get some of my friends to get in because I'd love to do a podcast on various things or various collab content like that. But man, it's like I'm in a unique position because I'm retired, so I've got all the time in the world to do stuff more or less. I mean, I do some consulting and stuff during the days, so I don't really do a lot of content creation because of that. But with all my friends still like working full time and having families with to kids to raise and stuff like that, they don't have the time to do a podcast. And I don't think like a one person talking into a mic generally makes for a worthwhile podcast to watch. So kind of just been toying with what to do. Boy, the fish at this spot do not want to take that hook and keep their mouth on it, do they? We were like 4 or 5 more minutes, and then we might go and wrap tonight up and try again next time to get that dang tension. See if we can find the big head carp and get some bigger fish. I'll do some off camera experimenting with boilie flavors and stuff like that. See if I can figure out better blends and what the science to it is. Come on, take the hook. I almost wonder if my leaders are the problem. Because these all, if I remember correctly, they've all got like titanium leaders in them. I wonder if the leader is scaring the fish off. Hmm. I mean, I wouldn't think Tench of all species would get spooked by a leader, but who knows? Let's check their description again. Did it mention anything about being weary of line? Oh, really? Hmm. I did find it fascinating in real life how carp have become so used to getting caught and released that they are like some of the most difficult fish to hook because as soon as they see any sort of unnatural movement, they're like, nope, I'm out. Love watching I think they're my favorite videos as far as like the underwater camera fishing videos go. I think those are my favorite ones, just watching them go through a pile of boilies and stuff on the ground and just picking them up, and as soon as they see a hook, you just see them spit it out and move on to the next one. Is one of you going to actually do something about it? No. It's got to be the leaders. That's the only thing I can think of here. Let's try just one cast for a few minutes without a leader and see if that changes the situation we're running into. Well, that took the whole thing off. Let me hook back on here. Night crawlers and a sinker. Oh, I guess I have to have a leader on. Okay, do I have any? Okay, I do have some fluorocarbon leaders. This is a. All right, so this should be our. Right. Let's try a fluorocarbon leader and see if that does a better job. Yeah, the other one with pike videos I love to see is where someone's like got the fish pretty much out of the water, and you'll see a giant pike just break through the top of the water and grab it as it's coming up to the boat. Those are hilarious. There's one I saw recently. It was like a girl was holding some food out over the edge of a dock, and a giant tarpon goes up, and like you see it just go up her like her entire arm goes in the tarpon's gullet, but then she lets go and goes off with the food. See, now this is the RF4 experience. You try and go after Tench, you can't catch him. But I'm sure if I was out here fishing for anything but Tench, I'd get him on the line left and right. They know. Yes. Mm-hmm. It's got to be the leaders. I can't think of what else would cause them to just not stay on. Next time it's just rapidly being like, I'm going to try to just set the hook, I think. So this is the one that's got the fluorocarbon leader here. Still not going to work. They're just teasing us at this point. Trolley fish. Oh, something I didn't mention in my previous videos for people learning fishing plan through these. With licenses, what you can put in your keep net is based on the license you have when you catch it. So right now, like I've got the advanced license so I can keep all these fish. Let's say that I'm not done fishing for the day here and I come back in a couple days. That doesn't, if I log on and I say I want to go to a different map or something like that, so I don't want to buy another license for this, but this one's already expired. Because I caught these fish when I had the license, it doesn't force you to release them. So something to keep in mind, if you come back later on and your license is expired, you can still sell the fish in your keep net without any issue. That's a good thing to do if you're getting ready to move to another map. Come on. It's promising. But the promise was broken. Sheesh. I was wondering if I need to use like a float setup to go after these, maybe? Huh. Yeah, maybe that's what I need to do is I need to go after the tench with a float setup. Maybe we can try. We just hold the rod so that as soon as it starts ringing, we can just set the hook, maybe. Then again, I don't know if we get enough because they haven't put enough tension to even ring the bells. It's only getting the like little bit of tension from the stand holder, so the rod holder. So who knows? Have to do some more experimenting. Maybe do some research on some of the fishing strategies at this for both going some of the going for the bigger carp and how to catch these tench, I guess. Look up the records here. Fish location. Go and search for this lake, and let's look for tench. All right. They're actually they're fairly small on this lake. I was going to see the info for the tench itself. That's like scroll through all their fish. Unique tench. I just saw it. Where'd it go? There we go. See, nope, I guess I can't check on that to see what they used. Oh well. It was worth a look. But I guess it wasn't, I mean, I don't think do they have mono leaders? I guess they do. Go for specifically mono leaders. There are some we could try. Just don't know if that's the answer or not, though. Have to do some research on it. But not too bad. I mean, we were able to find some carp pretty quick, even if they weren't big carp. learned a little bit on the ground bait system. I'll have to play around with that some more and learn. I got the, I was trying to put these together. I got these particles, but I don't know how to use them. I guess they're meant to be, because I've tried with, I guess maybe they're for method. No, I've used method mix and haven't used feeder mix. Maybe they're meant to be used with feeder mix. But you can see like a lot of details as far as what they give you with different parameters and like suggested areas you want to use that type of ground bait and aromas, all that kind of stuff. So it was pretty in depth, more so I think than RF4 does. We'll go ahead and wrap this up. Not a bad haul, 10,000. I mean, it's nothing compared to like San Joaquin Delta, but again, we're going after getting small fish and also trying to complete the mission that's particularly small fish. So I think once we can target the carp themselves, it can probably be a pretty profitable area. XP wise, San Joaquin Delta right now is going to be the better option because their sturgeon and striped bass with my tackle are just amazingly good. But okay, I can take that. So I'll keep playing with that around with this, try to learn some more of this lake, and we'll probably be back here on the next Fishing Planet stream, try to go after some bigger carp and see where we go from there. I know the Weeping Willow fishery is going to be the biggest carp, which I think is level 50, so we're a few levels away from that. But when I'm off camera, I'll try and do some more money and XP farming at the San Joaquin Delta, get some more gear to try out. We'll wrap things up here. Appreciate watching. Catch everyone next time. Want to have a good night or a good day depending on your time zone, and see you all next time.